Did you love the album Controversy? So did I. I can't wait to talk about this one. Hey everybody, welcome back to Prince's Friend, exploring music through Prince. So here we are doing the next video in my top 5 songs from each Prince album series that I have going here. We did Dirty Mind a few weeks ago. We did the originals as well, which was a little bit, I skipped ahead and did the originals. But now it's time to go ahead and tackle Controversy, and this was one that I was actually excited to get to because Controversy was where I really started to get into Prince. Even up through Dirty Mind, as great as Dirty Mind and Prince and For You are, Controversy was where it started to kind of gel and like click in my head, and I was like, ooh, I love this sound and I love the direction he's going here. I love the messages. Yes, okay, cool. I see where the train is going. So Controversy was always a really, really fun album for me personally, and hopefully for all of you, because it's just a really good album. If you haven't listened to it recently, go listen to it, because I did recently listen to it again a couple of times actually in order to prepare my top 5 list. And the interesting thing about doing a top 5 list for an album that only has 8 songs is that it is incredibly easy sometimes if there are just songs that you're like, that would never make a top list. But sometimes it's also very difficult because almost every song is contending for that top spot. But with that in mind, I actually had a very easy time picking out my 5 songs that I liked the best. Really, the big thing with me was just figuring out what order those 5 songs would go in. So don't forget to hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you always know when Prince's Friend puts out a new video. We also go live every so often, so you'll get notified of that. And I have some new series that I'm looking to be pushing out here soon, so hopefully you all will enjoy those. So first, obviously, we're gonna go over what songs are on this album to remind everybody of what this album contains and how awesome it is. Track 1 is Controversy, track 2 is Sexuality, track 3 is Do Me Baby, and track 4 is Private Joy. The second half is Ronnie Talk to Russia, Let's Work, Annie Christian, and Jack You Off, finishing off the album. So now that everybody knows what the songs are, let's go ahead and jump into what my number 5 is, and it's the song I just mentioned, Jack You Off. And I mentioned this a little bit in the last video for Dirty Mind, where Dirty Mind is very much a pretty dirty sexual album, and then the last track is political, whereas this album, most of the album is very political, and in the last track is just sexy. And honestly, that is what makes Jack You Off stand out the most. I just love how blatantly sexual it is, and the rest of the album is very much a contrast with this song. But I really just love the keyboard that kind of drives this song home. I love the lyrics about movie theaters and whatnot. There's just so much great stuff about Jack You Off that I think it deserves definitely to be on the list. And honestly, it could have been up higher if I didn't personally like some of the other songs on the album just a little bit better. So, but I was like, no, but it has to be on here. So yeah, but definitely number 5 is Jack You Off. With the U, which was also the very first time that Prince started using the U's and stuff in place of full words. So that's an interesting thing about it as well. All right, my number 4 is Sexuality. Yes, Sexuality. I love this song so much, mostly because it's a song called Sexuality that really isn't about sex all that much, even though it is about sex, but it's not a sexy song. It's kind of about using your sexuality as a way to push a political or religious or some sort of new agenda, trying to push forth and trying to break down barriers. And it's not about, you know, full-on sex. He's had much sexier songs, especially with Do Me Baby. Like, Do Me Baby is on this album too, but Sexuality, Do Me Baby is more sexual than Sexuality, which is what I really dig about the song. It's super danceable. It has some of Prince's like very first like iconic screams in it, and there's a lot of history with this song that just makes it iconic for Prince in his career. The video itself is just amazing, with them kind of dancing around the stage and he's getting undressed, and that was just like, it's lewd, we can't show that on TV. And it's like, oh my god, it's so tame compared to stuff nowadays. All right, my number 3 is Private Joy. And I don't know if you guys were thinking that this one would end up this high on my list, but honestly, I've always just loved this song. I love its delivery. I love the beat, I love how he sings it all in his very high falsetto. It's just pretty great. And, you know, it was covered by a couple of different people, most notably LaToya Jackson, and she said it was one of her favorite songs too, which I wouldn't be surprised because it's a great song. But I love also the debate about what that song is about, because some people say it's about sex toys, whereas some people think it's about a secret relationship. And I love actually having that conversation because there's things in the song that can probably point to a couple of different theories being correct, and yet that's what Prince is all about. He writes a song and it sparks a debate. And it doesn't have to be that, you know, one person is right or one person is wrong. And I'm sure there's somebody in the comments who's going to be like, well, obviously is this. But yeah, you know, that's the thing about art, is everybody can take it for what they interpret it in their own mind. And that's what art is. And that is a great, amazing thing about Prince and about Private Joy. So I really, really love the song. My number 2 is the title track, Controversy. Great song. Love Controversy, and I think probably I love it for its groove, because it starts off with that boom 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 boom. So you get like this really like thumping, but there's like hard accents that really like make it stand out. And then when the actual guitar, the scratch guitar comes in, everything comes in, and it all just kind of adds to the wow, 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 pow. Like, it's such a good song. He does recite the Lord's Prayer in the song too, which is again a hugely political thing. He's talking about all of the controversy that's surrounding him, and the greatest thing about it is that controversy never truly left. Prince was always controversial regardless of what he was being controversial for, because before it was his sex, then it was religious stuff, and then it was that he didn't curse anymore, then it was that he changed his name, and it was like just so many different things that he was controversial for. And honestly, this song kind of just ties a pretty bow on all of that controversy, and he's like, yeah, guess what, I'm happy to be controversial, and I'm gonna continue to be controversial. And then my number 1 favorite song off of Controversy is actually Let's Work. And honestly, I think the song speaks for itself. It's ended up on a few of my different lists. The bass line is amazing. It is one of the highest danceable songs on this whole album. It did get really high on my top 10 party songs list that I did a couple of weeks ago, and it is just an amazing song. Like, Let's Work is so good. And obviously, with it being one of those songs that Prince performed well into his career, there are a lot of songs that he stopped doing them for a while, but but this one, never. He could never let this one go because it is just too funky, it is too amazing, and it spans the test of time as probably one of Prince's best songs from this era of his career. But hey guys, what did you guys get down for your top 5? Let me know about that down in the comments. I want to know what your top 5 songs from this album are. Or did you agree with mine? Because I'm sure some people's taste align with mine. I'm sure a lot of you are also going to tell me, how come Do Me Baby ain't on the list? Let's continue that discussion down in the comments. Otherwise, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/princessfriend, where you can support the channel. It really helps, and it's helping us to grow even bigger. And otherwise, may you live to see the dawn. I love you all.